Las Ventas is the largest bullfighting ring in Spain, but the pandemic has meant the only people here today are pupils learning the trade like Guillermo.
The virus has really affected us. We can't fight, and there's nothing for us to do. We can no longer practice in the ring what we learn.
Normally every Sunday the ring is filled with almost 24,000 bullfighting aficionados, but there's no applause this year. And without the crowds, jobs are on the line.
They've barely got enough to pay us because there are no bullfights. I don't know how they're going to be able to manage this. There are a lot of us. I don't know whether we'll end up unemployed or whether we'll be able to cling on.
In January, Madrid's conservative liberal regional government gave the bullfighting industry more than €1 million in grants. But the head of the bullfighting school says the central government also needs to help.
After football, we're the sector that pays the highest amount of taxes in Spain, so we're asking to be treated like any other cultural sector. But unfortunately for us, the current government is against bullfighting.
A complaint heard from most of those in the sector. Empty rings are just the tip of the iceberg. Those rearing bulls for fights are also struggling.
Lots of us won't be able to survive. We've got losses of at least €300,000 from what we invested in bulls we couldn't sell. And on top of that, we've got what it costs to maintain a bull. We'll easily have €500,000 in losses for a season.
A bull reared for fights could be sold to an abattoir for about €700, an option that wouldn't recover a breeder's costs. ISABEL estimates rearing one of these animals costs her about €5,000. At the moment, she's using her savings, but she's worried about the future.
We already went through a crisis before this one, because people have other pastimes, so they come to bull rings less often, and they know less about bullfighting. We need to show people how beautiful bulls are, how noble their breeding is. People focus too much on their last 10 minutes in the ring.
Those last 10 minutes of a bull's life were studied by this vet, who concluded they amounted to torture.
I found the animal is subjected to brutal suffering. You might think it is impossible to force it in deeper than this level, but it is. This part cuts through the bull's muscles and can pierce through to 30 centimeters. This is a banderilla. This is stuck in on top of previous injuries so that it hurts even more.
Death by the bullfighter's sword is a difficult task. Only 20% of bullfights finish up with the cutting of the aorta, causing immediate death.
This is what is used to finish off the bull. It used to be used in abattoirs to kill cattle, but it was banned by the European Union in 2007.
Jose and 650 other vets are battling to ban bullfighting.
If we stop recognizing it as Spanish cultural heritage and remove its grants, bullfighting is over.
UNESCO hasn't recognized bullfighting as World Heritage, but in Spain it is classed as cultural heritage, a move supported by the Conservatives, which the Socialists didn't oppose. Today the Socialists run the central government, along with the far-left party Podemos, which opposes bullfighting.
Of course, I'm worried about the jobs directly and indirectly threatened if the sector dies. But it's naturally and biologically clear that in the 21st century we need to stop bullfighting, which threatens the ethical values of a social democratic society.
This Member of Parliament believes it's time to cut off regional grants for bullfighting, subsidies that allow this village in Andalusia to hold a bull running festival.
People get behind the barriers and the bulls run down the streets.
Before the coronavirus pandemic, Jorge used to organise festivals like this one across Spain. The sector says the crisis has put 54,000 jobs at risk.
I haven't been able to hire anyone this year.
No new ticket sellers, gatekeepers, people putting sand down, people inside the ring.
And fans of the festival are starting to worry about its future.
We are aware of the struggles the whole sector has, and we're frightened. Sometimes we ask ourselves, if these people can come here, what will happen to everyone?
The pandemic hit as the younger generation turns its back on an activity that used to symbolise their country. Numbers attending bullfights are dropping.